you self-help is the best help. Analyze yourself, do your own research. You can do all of this by yourself. It is just a matter of effort and time. So I think once you apply, this is the you go ahead, you submit all this documentation, you apply for the university, and just await for your offer. So while you're submitting your documents to the university, you have to have your complete document set ready. Some of them before the visa process, some of them during the visa process, and then some of them during your departure. So it's a combination all of that. So the major ones is your all mark sheet and test scorecards intact. Please maintain them properly. The letter of recommendation, LORs, these letters are written from your peer, like your professors, your teachers, your managers at the workplace. So basically, they attest your credibility. They recommend the university to give you a chance to pursue because of they find you more rewarding for this position, more more capable of taking a master's degree. That's where you write a letter to the university. Profession, it's not like you write, the person who is recommending you write. So it is either your head of the department, your principal, your professor, your project guide, or your manager. Depends, it is different in each one of your situation case. You can get your LORs. It's like a 3 or 4 a letter of recommendation from 3 different people, and submit to the university while you're doing your application process. The next is the statement of purpose. This is one of the major criteria which determines your admit in the university. Here in the university, in this statement of purpose is basically an essay. You write to the university that why do you want this course? What do you find exciting about this course? What contributions you can do to the university after this course? How would this help you in your career, and all of that. The next thing is affidavits. So affidavits, like we usually in India, we have some issues with our names, with our family names, with our addresses and all of that. So believe me, if any comma or a dot is not matching in all your documents, your visa is rejected. You have to be very particular about your documents, and so you need to prepare. If any of these is not there, if by any chance you are not able to have a same record, matching record in all the documents, you can prepare affidavits to furnish the embassy of the country and say like, hey, this is the issue I had during my earlier days, and this is the rectification of it, and I have a supporting affidavit from the government of the country, the government of India, supporting that what I have is a valid thing. And then next is financial documents of your sponsors. So sponsors can be you yourself, can be your parents, can be your siblings. Except these, none of them can be your sponsors because they do not come under bloodly relations. Again, there are different sponsor categories for different countries. Please go investigate who can be a valid sponsor. If you do not have a valid sponsor, you have a very high chance of getting your visa rejected. So if there's nobody sponsoring, you're all on by yourself, you go ahead for a loan, then all you need is a loan approval letter. Your everything is sorted, but make sure, I don't suggest 100% loan because believe me, it's a huge risk you're taking. I would say partially loan, partially self-funded. But again, if you're damn determined about going and achieving something, then best of luck. You can take the risk and make sure you do your best so that you become successful there. And income tax return. So again, this income tax return is when you're doing a self-sponsor to show your yearly earnings, all of that. So again, it is depending upon each individual's case, it is required. Then obviously your work experience certificates you need. Make sure any company you exit, please exit. Don't fight with your manager. Don't get into issues with him. because a proper exit is always necessary for your next job, because the person next hiring may do a background verification with your previous company, and if they find some sort of discrepancy in that, there's also a chance that they might return your offer. So take back your offer. So please do a proper relieving letter or work experience certificate, whatever, and make sure you are in good terms with that employer. Other certificates are all your courses, whatever you do, whatever certificate, like your co-curricular activities and all of that, which I've already spoken. And the next is your acceptance and rejection letters. So if you apply for 10 universities, not all universities will get you an acceptance. It depends on the credibility, how matching are you with the profile. If you're accepted, they'll send you an acceptance. If you're rejected, they'll send you a very sweet email saying that please look in for another course. And the last thing you would need is a resume or a CV. I know most of us like our institutions do not teach us how to prepare a CV. Believe me, guys, the first impression for an employer about you is looking how your CV looks. So please make your CV look as a CV. It should showcase you what an individual you are. It shouldn't give a bad impression or a different impression. I have seen so many CVs. Uh, I have While I was in India, and like I didn't like the way students prepare the CVs. Like I would suggest Ashok sir also to. I know they are doing a good job. They had a trainer also on CVs, but I would focus. I would say again, it's an individual's responsibility, not a spoon feeding here, but you should have a very good resume or a CV, because it is the first impression an employer has on you. My experience, because I got another offer recently in a company called in California. It's a general contracting company. The first thing the employer said was excellent resume, is because a person hiring you knows what your resume looks. I have shared my resume to Ashok sir. Probably he might display it on the screen, or you can take it from him. Don't copy paste it, because even if you copy paste it, doesn't help you out. But believe me, guys, I have been in your position. I have been in your shoes. You have to develop yourself. All these things do matter when you're transitioning yourself to a bigger position or a better position, or you're approaching somebody for an opportunity. You make sure you impress him within that stipulated time. So because your job interview is all those 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, how well you can impress the interviewer, how long can you hold his attention is what really matters. So again, out of all these documents, I suggest your resume to look really good. So once we have all this done, so you are still waiting for an admit, or probably you would have had an admit, you would be properly preparing for your visa, different stages, you would still need all these documents. What next? So now you have your admit, say you're happy, like university writes to like, hey, we found your profile interesting, we are interested in you, we would like to give you an offer for your master's and science program in the university. So we are pleased to welcome you here. This is all a letter which comes to you, and it is up to you to decide whether you have to take this opportunity or not. So once you decide, like, hey, out of these offers, I love this university, this is the university of my choice. So once you're decided, then you go ahead with final document submission. Once you finalize the document, accept the admit, the university asks you for final document, which is a bit of your financial, your academia related, and all of that. And the next, once you submit all of that, they would ask you to pay a partial fee amount that you need to register yourself before you pay your complete fee. It can be a partial, it can be complete. Again, different countries, different policies. Please investigate that. does not exactly relate to what I have done in US, but it would be definitely different for Ireland and UK. But I would say do your own research. Once you have done all of that, so once you pay the tuition deposit, the university will form or send you a final immigration document that you need to take it for your visa interview. So that visa interview, once you get that you need to take it for your visa. So basically, if it's US, you have to go for an interview. If it's UK, Canada, or anything, there's an interview, but not as extensive as US. But it will be more of document submission, and then after a period of like 1 month or 2 months, they let you know if your visa is approved or not. But in case of US, you have to go face a in-person visa interview in the embassy, which is in Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, Delhi, I think, yeah, and Hyderabad. So you have these 5 consulates here, and where only you can go and give your US visa with your biometrics on first day and the interview with the consular on the second day. So the advantage of US visa is you get to know whether your visa is approved or not immediately. On the face, he would tell you like, hey, your visa is approved, hey, your visa is not approved. So that is it. So if you're not approved, you are being requested to apply again. But believe me, if you are having a rejection, you have to correct the actual reason of your visa rejection. So you don't know. So you will have to figure it out yourself. The person will not tell you why he has rejected. But unless and until you correct that reason, you will not get your visa if you attempt it like 100 times. So make sure before you do your again, say like it's an interview, you have to be competent enough to face them. So you have to be good in your communication, good at your documentation. Even if they don't ask you anything, you should have everything. So that's how you go. And again, there are like counselors who teach you that, but definitely you can do it by yourself also, not depending on external sources. And if you feel like you need some additional help, you can reach out to them. There are so many people who do this job. And once you're sorted, once you're done with your visa interview and everything, and the next thing is you're good to go. You book your flight, you book your temporary accommodation. If your permanent accommodation is not figured out, you do all your airport to your accommodation shuttle and all of that. And your pre-departure arrangements is all your shopping, all your documentation thing, your affidavits, take everything. There are a bunch of pre-departure arrangements, nothing more focused towards your nothing you should worry much about, but definitely even these items should consider where you're like planning your overall budget for your master's program or a PhD program, whatever you're taking. So these are some of the steps. So that's how once you get there, you start your master's program. This is the end of what your application process is, and after that, you will start your master's program.